the Senate President Godswill Akpabio is facing intense scrutiny over the suspension of Natasha Uduaghan. This is a move that has ignited widespread criticism and raised a serious question about legislative overreach in Nigeria. Of course, we all know that this case started long ago when Natasha Uduaghan accused Senate President of advances, which she actually refused, and since then they have denied her many of her duties as a legislator. So this is a very serious case right now because experts have condemned the suspension as unconstitutional, and Akpabio is facing a serious criticism and scrutiny over this very suspension. What is actually happening in Nigeria? What is happening in Nigeria? So let us show you what is actually happening to Senator Godswill Akpabio. He is actually facing a serious challenge right now. The Nigerian Labour Congress has condemned in strong terms the Godswill Akpabio's led Senate for what it has described as the persecution of Senator Natasha Uduaghan, accusing the upper chamber of sliding into dictatorship by barring her from resuming her legislative duties despite the expiration of her suspension. In a statement signed by its president, Comrade Joe Ajero, and issued on Thursday, the Labour Union described the Senate's action as an abuse of power, brazen assault on democracy, and a violation of the constitutional rights of Nigerians. Uduaghan, who represents Kogi Central Senatorial District, was suspended for 6 months earlier in this year. Although a court later voided the suspension, the Senate has continued to prevent her return, claiming the matter is still sub judice. The NLC dismissed that excuse as a frivolous legal technicality and a cynical ploy designed to silence dissenting voices, which is very, very bad. That you suspended a fellow senator from her constitutional role, depriving her people of representation, was sinful enough, but to ignore a valid court ruling that voided her suspension, and to continue bearing her even after the expiration of your illegal sanction, is the height of impunity and moral reprehensible. This is no longer democracy, but autocracy. The statement read, very, very sad that a senator who is just a Nigerian like others will just want to control everything in the country. These people are just seeing Nigeria as their business empire, that they can do everything they want, control others the way they wish, which is very, very bad. Civil society organizations, including the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project set up, have actually even demanded the immediate reinstatement of what Uduaghan immediately. This is so sad. Like a country like Nigeria. So despite the backslide, the Senate has reaffirmed its confidence in Akpabio's leadership, saying that Uduaghan must respect the Senate. What is she respecting? What offense have she actually committed? This is so sad in a country like Nigeria. And people who are supposed to speak are not speaking up. Many people accuse Senate of what? Running this very Senate house as what? A court, and which Uduaghan, Natasha, said. So as the controversy unfolds, it remains to be seen how legal challenges and public demands for accountability, the outcome of this case could have far-reaching implications for the balance of power within Nigeria's government and protection of individual rights against institutional authority. This case is actually heading to somewhere good, because everything about this very Senate will be exposed right now. Everything about the hidden truth about Senate and what is actually there will be exposed. Because Dr. Obi Ezekwesili have actually accused this Senate of paddling and running Nigeria's affairs as a private enterprise, doing what the executives want with what order, without scrutiny and investigation. They are doing everything as if Nigeria belongs to them, and no Nigerian voice is actually regarded or expected to speak against impunity and anything happening in Nigeria. That is the power imbalance. They don't care. They are just trying to silence the voice of Natasha Uduaghan for speaking up the truth in Nigeria, for telling the whole world what is actually happening, for overriding them. Even the governor of her state and every other individuals kicking against her, working against her. What is actually happening in Nigeria? Does Nigeria belong to few individuals, or belongs to all of us as Nigerians? We are watching this case closely and seeing what will actually happen, because as it is down, Akpabio is facing a lot of criticism. I don't think she can sleep at night normally now, because many people are facing fingers to him, accusing him of malicious damage to this very country, causing damage to this Nigeria, causing damage to Nigeria before international community, exposing the ills in this our country, is telling the whole world what's actually happening in the Nigerian Senate. They do not care. It is now about fighting individuals instead of fighting for the entire country. Working with the executive, doing the needful, but they are not doing anything. Borrowing up and down. What are they using with the borrowing? Nothing. Even the House of Rep Speaker criticized what has been happening in Nigeria on this excess borrowing without heading anywhere reasonable or positive. But Senator Akpabio is just there as a rubber stamp, doing everything the executive wants him to do without questioning. That is why he has the right to suppress Natasha Uduaghan, because he knows that no one will question him, because they are doing it what Emparipas will do for me and I will do for you. That is what is happening in our Senate. That's why the presidency are quiet over this, because they do not care. It is very shameful that a country like Nigeria will be practicing such an outdated system of leadership. Please, if you have never subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel for more updates on this and many more. Every news happening about this case and Nigerian system, everything happening. This is where you get the verified updates. You need to know. You need to hear about what is happening in Nigeria. Please kindly subscribe to this channel for more updates and many more. Thank you so much, and do have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.